Imagine you wake up tomorrow and you have more money than you've ever seen in your life. Just enough. Enough to quit your job, pay off your parents' house, actually breathe. Maybe it came from selling a business, an inheritance, a settlement, a crypto bet that actually paid off, even a lottery ticket. Yes, it happens. Doesn't matter how. It's there. It's real. It's yours. Now here's the question nobody asks at that moment. Not what will you buy? Not where will you invest? The question is, do you actually know how to keep it? Because here's the brutal truth. Most people don't. Studies show that nearly 1/3 of lottery winners eventually declare bankruptcy, a higher rate than the average American, often within just a few years. Not because they're stupid, not because they're reckless, but because nobody ever taught them the rules that actually apply when you have real money. And the rules are completely different from the ones you followed when you didn't. What I'm about to walk you through are the 9 things you absolutely must do the moment sudden wealth lands in your life. Get these right, and the money stays and grows. Get them wrong, and most people get them wrong, and it quietly disappears. Sometimes in months. Stay with me. This matters even if you're not rich yet, because understanding this changes how you think about building money too. Here's something that almost nobody talks about. There's a whole psychology around money that kicks in the moment you have a lot of it. And it's not the psychology you'd expect. You'd think more money equals more security, more confidence, more clarity. But for most people, sudden wealth creates the opposite. It creates pressure, noise, requests, decisions you've never had to make before, coming at you from every direction, all at once. About 20% of American households receive some form of inheritance during their lifetime. And with the great wealth transfer underway, millions more will face this moment. And the people around you change. The phone starts ringing. Cousins you haven't heard from in years suddenly have business ideas. Friends expect dinners. Parents expect security. And somewhere in the middle of all that noise, you're supposed to be making the most important financial decisions of your life. This is where most people lose it. Not in one dramatic moment, but in 1,000 small decisions, each one feeling fine in isolation, that add up to a fortune gone. And here's the part that's genuinely not your fault. Nobody teaches you this. Financial education doesn't cover what happens when money arrives. It's all about budgeting on a tight income, managing debt, saving small, which is important, but it's completely different from the problem of not burning through a windfall. This is a skill. And like any skill, if you don't learn it before you need it, you'll learn it the hard way. This is exactly why I created this channel, Unlock Wealth, to give you the financial education that actually maps to real life. Not just how to save $20 a week, but how money really works when it moves in large amounts. Because the gap between people who keep wealth and people who lose it isn't intelligence. It's information. Let's go through these. All 9, in the order they actually matter. Number 1, do absolutely nothing for 30 days. I know, that sounds insane. You just came into money, and I'm telling you to sit on your hands. But this is the single most important thing on this list. When money arrives suddenly, your brain is flooded. Emotions are high. Pressure from others is at its peak. Your judgment, no matter how smart you are, is compromised. The best financial decisions are never made at peak emotional intensity. Take 30 days. Don't quit your job. Don't buy anything large. Don't invest. Don't lend. Don't give. Just sit with it. Let the noise settle. You might be thinking, but what if I miss an opportunity? Here's the truth about that thought. It's the thought that ruins people. Real opportunities don't expire in 30 days. Anyone pressuring you to move faster than that is the risk. Number 2, put the money somewhere boring and safe while you think. Not the stock market, not crypto, not your brother-in-law's restaurant idea, a high-yield savings account, or a short-term government bond. Something that won't lose value while you're in that 30-day window. As of May 2026, top high-yield savings accounts are offering around 4% to 5% APY, while short-term treasuries are yielding in the 3.7% to 4% range. Yes, you'll miss some theoretical upside, but you'll also avoid the nightmare of making a complex financial decision while you're still emotional and watching it go sideways. Think of it like this. If a surgeon just got devastating personal news, you'd want them to reschedule your operation. Your money deserves that same respect. Number 3, before you tell anyone, understand the tax situation completely. This is the one that blindsides people. Depending on how the money came to you, inheritance, settlement, Investment gain, sale of a business. The tax treatment is completely different, and the deadlines for handling it are not forgiving. In the US, there is no federal inheritance tax for most people. The federal estate tax exemption in 2026 is $15 million per individual. Capital gains taxes on investments or business sales are 0%, 15%, or 20% for long-term holdings depending on your income. But state taxes and other rules vary. The first professional you need is a tax advisor who specializes in sudden wealth. Not your regular accountant. Not someone your friend recommends. Someone who has specifically navigated this situation before. The cost of that consultation? Probably a few $100s. The cost of getting it wrong? Could be hundreds of thousands. Number 4. Understand the difference between real wealth and liquid wealth. This one trips people up badly. Let's say you receive $800,000. You see $800,000 and your brain translates that as, I am an $800,000 person. But if you're not used to managing large sums, you don't naturally account for taxes owed, the cost of investing it properly, inflation eroding it over time, and the fact that liquid cash doesn't grow by itself. Here's a concrete example. Someone gets $500,000, pays taxes, spends modestly in year 1, new car, home improvements, some generosity. Suddenly, they feel wealthy, so the spending continues. 3 years later, gone. Real wealth isn't a balance. Real wealth is a system, assets that generate income, that grow, that outlast you. Until your money is in that system, it's not wealth. It's a countdown. Number 5, build your team before you make any big moves. 3 people. That's what you need. A fee-only financial advisor, someone who doesn't earn commissions from what they recommend. A tax specialist. And an estate attorney, someone who helps structure how the money is held, protected, and eventually passed on. It might cost a few $1,000s for proper setup, but if those 3 people help you protect even 10% more of a $500,000 windfall, that's $50,000. The advice pays for itself many times over. And critically, these people should be hired by you, paid by you, and loyal to you alone. Number 6, establish what enough actually means for you before you spend anything. This is the most underrated item on this list. Most people don't have a number. They don't know how much they actually need to feel financially free. So they spend generously, impulsively, reactively, until the number starts shrinking. Before you allocate a single dollar, sit down and calculate your number. How much money, generating what kind of return, would produce enough income to cover your lifestyle without ever touching the principal? This is known in finance as your financial independence number. Using the classic 4% rule, withdrawing 4% of a portfolio annually has historically been sustainable over 30 years. Let's say your lifestyle costs $5,000 a month. That's $60,000 a year. Using a 4% withdrawal rate, you'd need $1.5 million invested to generate that indefinitely. If you have less than that, which most windfall recipients do, every dollar you spend is a dollar that isn't working toward that number. Knowing your number changes your decisions completely. Number 7, create a generosity budget and protect it like a boundary. Because people will ask. And saying no to people you love is one of the hardest things a human being can do. So do this, decide in advance, before anyone asks. A specific dollar amount or percentage that you will freely give without guilt, without debate, without negotiation. Maybe it's 5% of what you received. Maybe it's $20,000. Whatever feels right and leaves your financial plan intact. When someone asks beyond that number, you have a simple, honest answer. I've already allocated what I can give. I'm not able to do more. This isn't coldness. This is clarity, and it protects your relationships as much as your finances. Number 8, invest in what you understand, not what sounds exciting. This is where fortunes go to die. Suddenly wealthy people get pitched constantly. Real estate syndicates, private equity deals, crypto funds, startup investments. Here's the rule. If you can't explain exactly how this investment makes money and what happens to your money if it doesn't, don't invest. If not, boring index funds. Diversified, low cost, things that have worked for decades. The goal right now is not to maximize returns. The goal is to not blow this. Number 9, decide who you want to be before the money decides for you. This is the one nobody puts on these lists, and it might be the most important. Money is a magnifier. It doesn't create character. It reveals it. Some of the unhappiest people in the world are people who received wealth without knowing what they stood for, what they valued, what kind of life they were actually trying to build. So ask yourself, before the spending, before the investments, before the decisions, what does financial freedom look like, specifically for me? Not the Instagram version, not what your family expects. What would a genuinely good, meaningful life actually look like, with this money behind it? Answer that. Write it down. And let that answer guide everything else. Here's what nobody tells you about sudden wealth. The real danger is this: you don't know what you don't know. When you've never had significant money before, you have no reference point. The financial system is not designed to help you figure this out. Banks want deposits. Advisors earn commissions. Everyone around sudden wealth is incentivized to help you move it, not to help you keep it. And the math is brutal. If you receive $500,000 with zero growth and spend it at the national average household expenditure rate of about $78,500 per year, that money is gone in under a decade. A windfall that feels like a lifetime of security can be a decade of slightly elevated spending. That is the math. And the math doesn't care how it makes you feel. But here's the other side of this. There are ordinary people who received a windfall, made good decisions, and never had to worry about money again. A teacher in Ohio who inherited $340,000 from her mother. She didn't quit her job. She took a month. She hired a fee-only advisor. She paid her mortgage. She put the rest in a diversified portfolio. She never touched the principal. 15 years later, that money has more than doubled, and she lives off a portion of the returns. She didn't do anything brilliant. She did the boring, disciplined version of what I've described. And it worked. The people who keep sudden wealth aren't smarter than the people who lose it. They're just the people who slowed down enough to make deliberate decisions. That's a learnable skill for anyone. We live in a culture that has a deeply complicated relationship with wealth. Nobody teaches financial decision-making at scale. So the rich, who have been around money for generations, have an enormous structural advantage, not just in having it, but in keeping it. First-generation wealth. You're learning in real time, with real stakes. That's not a character flaw. That's a knowledge gap. And knowledge gaps can be closed. Quietly. This is how generational wealth starts. One person in a family who received something and made the right decisions. It can start with you. Here's the thought I want to leave you with. You've probably imagined receiving a windfall at some point in your life. But the real question, the question that determines whether that money changes your life or just passes through it, is, who would you be in that moment? Would you be someone who slows down when everything around you is moving fast? Someone who asks questions before making decisions? Someone who knows their number and protects it? That person doesn't appear on the day the money arrives. That person is built beforehand, through the habits, the knowledge, the practices you develop right now, even when the stakes feel lower. Here's your one action this week. Calculate your financial independence number. Take your monthly expenses or your ideal monthly lifestyle cost. Multiply it by 12 to get the annual amount. Then divide by 0.04. That's your number. The amount that, properly invested, would make work optional. Write it down. Know it. Make it real. Because the most powerful shift you can make isn't in your account balance. It's in knowing exactly what you're building toward. Wealth isn't something that happens to you. It's something you become ready for.